I'm back again. Y'all miss me. So, this is going to be a short one. Well, I always say that, but we're going to try to make it a short one. So, I always said I'm not going to get political on here. And I don't think I'm getting political, per se. Because once again, I'm not going to say this guy's wrong, this guy's right, and all that. But for any of you following, you have your finger on the pulse of politics. I think you already know what I'm about to say, and you'll appreciate it for me saying it anyway. But so, without a doubt, the shining star on the stage last night for the first GOP debate was Vivek Ramaswamy. He is very well spoken. He has stated without floundering, without beating around the bush, without saying dodging questions, blatantly answering how he feels and what he wants to do. So that is a powerful thing to do, no matter where you stand on the political divide. It's just plain and simple. So my opinion with Trump running the polls right now, I think the last I saw was 67%. Um, the way I understand it, my belief, however you lean, it doesn't really matter. But my belief, with that kind of a lead, Trump has 100% secured the nominee, whether or not all the indictments come to pass and he's actually convicted of anything, which he won't be. But it's just there's just not enough evidence. I mean, even if you're on the left, I mean, you can. It's one thing to dream about this happening if you hate him as much as a lot of people do hate him, but there's just no substance to the indictments brought against him. And it is alarming and it's concerning to see them making these kind of moves. But if somebody believes he's guilty of something, then do what you do. That's your job, right? But it looks a little fishy with the indictments being as weak as they are and odd. So it's hard not to look at it in the light that the right is framing it, right? So the prediction being, without a doubt, Donald Trump is the nominee for the GOP, and I would go so far as to say that Donald Trump and Vivek Ramaswamy have been talking to each other for some time now, and Donald let him know. And another reason that he decided not to show up to the debate and to go instead and do that interview with Tucker Carlson, which, mind you, also is the most viewed interview in the history of media as of something like 12 hours after it was posted. So I think Donald Trump has spoken to Vivek Ramaswamy. I think they are working together because of how Vivek has always talked about Donald Trump. I think the worst thing he's ever said about him is that he should have tweeted less, which people can argue that point all day long because he said some stuff that started a lot of fires. But I think, and once again, people want genuine. They don't want to see somebody pussyfooting around, not answering questions, but dodging questions. And don't get me wrong, Donald Trump has dodged questions plenty of times, but it's because there's questions that are loaded and just specifically designed to trap you, no matter how you answer it, and so he'll dodge them. What Vivek did last night was not that. He straight up answered questions. He told you exactly what he wants, and if he were elected, what he would do. And there was no dodging. He called out a lot of people. He was well spoken. He definitely didn't stutter. He didn't misstep. He was just he said what he thinks. Consequences be damned. He just said how he feels. So I mean, it's not like I'm reading a crystal ball here, but it's hard to disagree with the idea that Trump will end up picking Vivek Ramaswamy and that they've had this plan in place for a little while, and that he will pick Vivek Ramaswamy as his VP. Vivek will be tutored in everything how it functions in Washington by Trump. Now that he's experienced, he'll get the leg up, and then I think they'll win. Trump is just entirely too far ahead in the polls. And I think even if you lean blue, you're kind of understanding that it's a really uphill battle. It's a struggle to imagine even someone as potent and as well spoken and honestly amazing individual as RFK Jr. that there's just you're looking at a very uphill battle. I'll say it like that. And so I would make the prediction at this point, trying to not take sides at all and say this person's wrong, this person's right. But at the end of the day, um, Trump, Ramaswamy are going to win the 2024 election. Ramaswamy will get his feet wet, and he'll have enough clout at that point to then take the following term. And the only thing that is left to question now, which I don't know who could predict something like that, but is who he will pick as his VP. So, just my thoughts. Just my thoughts. I, I, I will continue to strive to not push one way or the other whenever I have these comments, whenever I comment on politics, because it's hard not to. You know, the world is so crazy, and the political landscape is it's fucking madness right now. It's very entertaining to watch. I know I hate seeing our country in turmoil, but it is. It's very entertaining to watch and to try to read it from both sides, because that's all I ever want to do. I want to get as much information about every single political candidate as I can, right? That's what everybody wants to do. And you can't see anything. And even listening to their words, these are not promises. These are gimmicks. These are people with individuals under them getting paid millions of dollars a year to explain this is how you should say this. If this topic comes up, this is how you should avoid that, so on and so forth, right? So it's just a well choreographed play on the world stage. And anybody who watches this stuff knows that, and it's not, you can't argue that. It's just the way it is. But that's my prediction. No matter how you lean, if you guys have any comments, or if you have a valid point that you think might enlighten me, that's what I'm always about, man. I love perspectives coming from every angle. So please get back at me.